Alright, how's it going, you guys? Today I'm making a bit of a different video than I usually do, but this is a guide to the construction building in Apex Legends. I didn't see any videos on this on YouTube, so I thought I would just make one myself because this is a very important building that a lot of people drop in, and you can get some crazy games in here. So I'm gonna teach you how to like go up the zip lines, do all that stuff, do all the crazy clip hitting ASU stuff, you know. I don't know everything, but I'll try my best to give you guys what I know. With that out of the way, there's a couple other things I gotta tell you about. This is R5 Reloaded, so this is Season 3 of Apex, I believe. So there's some slight differences, including Wraith's Q. You don't get a speed boost, it's really fast, and it doesn't last as long. The other notable difference is that this zipline and all ziplines in general, you can jump on them more than 3 times. So I can just do this without touching the ground, and I don't get any cooldown. So in the normal Apex that we play now, you can only go on a zipline 3 times before you can't connect onto it anymore. So if I did this, I couldn't reconnect back on, and I'd just drop all the way down because that was more than 3. Other than that, that's basically the differences for R5. But I'd highly recommend downloading it because you guys can practice in these buildings in an offline server like I'm doing right now and improve without having to get demolished by 70 squads dropping construction every game. So with that out of the way, I just want to let you guys know that you should probably already have some advanced movement knowledge. Like, you should probably know how to tap strafe or wall bounce and super glide pretty much. That's about it. Zip jumping is very important too, but that's a very easy one to learn. Let's get into the binds. So I have a mouse sensitivity of 0.9 and my ADS multiplier is 0.7. It's very low because I have a very big mouse pad, but this allows for very like minute movements. It's a little hard to get used to at first if you have this level of sensitivity, but I'd actually recommend switching to a lower sense. My binds, I have a couple like equip holster weapon binds on the side of my mouse. I have 2 side buttons. I should have a keyboard visualizer on the side of my screen. I have 2 buttons that I use for this. One of them is bound to 9, one of them is bound to 0, and equip weapon 2 and holster weapon is what they do. So now I can get actually into the guide portion of the video. So the first thing I'm going to go over is just the layout of the building, like what's in it, what can you use, just the fundamentals, I guess, before we get into all the zipline stuff. So you have first floor, second floor, third floor, and fourth floor. The roof counts as fifth floor, I guess. You can climb up to multiple different floors using these metal beams. So I can just climb up right here and get up to second floor. You can climb up from there to there. You can go all the way to the roof, really. That's mostly just an alternative to the zip lines. So normally you just take the zip lines up, but this is just a good way to get up there if you don't want to get seen or shot by people. You don't have to cross in the middle of this area. You can also do it on 4 sides. So there's 2 beams here, and then there's 2 beams over here as well. So there's 4 spots where you can do it. The next thing I wanted to tell you is which floors are better to stay on than others. So just by default, the second floor and the fourth floor are the most safe to be on because you cannot be shot from above. If you go into first floor and walk over here, you're already exposed to so many different angles. You have everywhere on first floor and then everywhere on second floor, basically. So the reason why it's so safe to be up there is because people can only challenge me from that zipline or this zipline. Nobody ever really climbs up right here, so you can just take some pop shots. If you get hit, you just back up and heal. But if they get hit, you just push them, just like that. So the second and fourth floor are definitely the most powerful positions. There's actually one side that's better than the other. So the left side facing out of Cap City is better because it has ledges. So if you were to get downed, I'm pretty sure most of you guys might have been down in this room before, but if you get downed, you can't climb up here. So you're exposed to everywhere above. That's what makes this side so good for 1vx fights, because I can be sitting up here, beam somebody as they come up, and they'll be stuck down there until they get rezzed or finished. So this is incredibly useful when fighting multiple people because it allows you to secure a full kill because they're sitting in the corner. They can't run away and get rezzed like in one of these corners or something. Whereas if you go to this side, there isn't any
Might
ledge.
be something good this way.
Also, there's no ledges on the sides either. So if you down someone, they'll just crawl out. Meaning this side is definitely the better side to fight on. It's not the worst to fight on this side. There's some nice spots you can be on. You can still peek down from these ledges. It's just, if you're 1v3ing, you're going to want to be on this side most of the time. But it doesn't mean you can't on that side either. And lastly, the roof I wanted to go over a little bit. So the thing about the roof is that while it's a good spot, you can peek down and shoot anybody coming up for the longest amount of time. You can be easily pushed from the other zipline.
Let's go this way.
You can't run all the way over here to the other zipline that fast. So they're going to come all the way up and get all this cover, and then it'll just turn into a really awkward fight. Also, it's often contested because you'll have like Valkyries skydiving in and they'll always go on the roof. You'll have people trying to res as well. So it's just generally not a good place to be. Because there's nowhere to run as well. The only place you can run is like down. You can only fall down. Only come up here if you really have to. It's not bad, but it's just not good, I guess. You can just get shot from everywhere. Plus, you're exposed to... This is season 3, but there's just like streamer building over there. And the bridge over there. They'll be shooting at you from everywhere. Roof, not the greatest, but it definitely is a good spot. If you're getting chased and you want to get a free kill, you can obviously go up here. They're going to come out and they're going to be looking forward, and you get a free beam. Alright, next up is ziplines. So ziplines are what make these buildings so much fun to play in. They allow you to run away really fast, they allow you to challenge people super fast, and basically let you stay alive for way longer than you would have thought of originally. So most people, when they come into this building, they think all you can do is grab on the zipline and go up. This is something you never want to do because you're such an open target when you do this. You grab on, you go straight up, you'll get beamed from multiple floors. Anybody who's on a floor above you can look straight down and kill you as you're coming up. So in order to avoid that from happening, we super jump. You basically skip a couple floors each time you do that. It's faster than just grabbing the zipline and going up, and you get hit way less, or even at all. To super jump, if you don't know already, it's just E and scroll wheel at the same time. You can only do a super jump while you're standing on the ground. If you want more information than that, go look up some videos on that. This is mostly just a guide on the construction building. And I mentioned this earlier in the video, but you do only get to grab the zipline 3 times. Make sure you know that whenever you're going onto any zipline. 1, 2, and I have one more free and hold, which I'll talk about later. You don't have to super jump actually between floors every single time. So let's say I wanted to go to this floor. I wouldn't super jump and then jump into there because I might hit the roof of that, or if I crouch down, it might be a bit slower than just doing a full 180. You can just jump, grab on, and do a quick 180 like this. It's faster, cleaner, and you don't have to do a super jump to do it. I basically guarantee you can't get hit while doing this because it happens so fast. Only if you like start climbing the ledge you might get shot. But it just gets better with practice as you hone your jumping. As a little review, super jumping, you can only grab on 3 times. Good for traversing multiple floors at a time. Like if I wanted to go to the roof, I would super jump all the way up. But if I only wanted to go to this floor, I would do a 180 normal, just zip, grab on, and turn. And as another note, you can exit zip lines using crouch, not only spacebar. So when you exit, when you press spacebar, it sends you kind of up. You can see, I kind of like hit the top of that glass when I jump and grab on. But if I press control, it sends you down instead. This is very useful if you're like slightly above the floor or something and you just want to slide into there. Like that. And if I were to jump, I might hit the wall instead. It like sends you up and forward, but the crouch sends you downwards. That's very useful. Get used to using that. I basically, whenever I exit the zipline, I always press crouch. It's especially useful when you're going down floors. Like that. You just crouch, Crouch. Boom. Yo, this is post-edit quiz. I forgot to tell you about something on the Ziplines. So there is a very nice way to take less damage when you're going up. So a problem you'll run into pretty often is there's going to be people already up there, and you still will take a little bit of damage when zipping up to 3rd floor.
Let's explore this
from
way.
first. So if I go from first up to here, you see how I'm like on the zipline for a little bit before I jump off? That's so free for them when they're shooting down, because for the first like little bit when you do that super jump, they won't be able to hit you, but you'll be riding straight up for just like 1 or 2 seconds just so you can make it on the 3rd floor. I'll do it again so you can see right now. To avoid that, you can just face punch into this wall like that. So the full motion looks like this, and it uses all 3 jumps, by the way. The amount of shots you avoid from this is actually way more than you would think. I saw this in a video once, and I implemented it to my playstyle ever since. It's just that good. You can also do the same with these walls up there, if you really wanted to. So, like, I could like that instead, but I found the easiest way is just to hit this because you're already facing that direction. So you just be like boom, boom, boom. That's basically all I wanted to show you guys. And back to the video. Now there's another zipline on this building that's noteworthy. It's this little side zipline that faces into Cap City. Now the important part about this zipline
here
is that it allows you to push onto the roof.
Let's explore this way.
So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into the middle of it, climb on top, and super jump up while air strafing onto the roof portion. Like that. So this allows for some serious outplaying, because usually people will be camping right here in the zip, or just camping over here as well. You can use this to your advantage by quickly zipping up and shooting them. And then you can always just run down if you need to. Also, since this is R5 reloaded, the zipline goes down a bit further. In the actual game, it starts at about that ledge right there, like right here. So if you're on this floor, it's possible to jump up and grab onto it and go up, but it's just a bit more difficult. You can also use it just to super jump up, like that, and it sends you up to the roof very quickly without the use of that. But it is very likely that Watsons like to put their fences right here, so you got to be careful about that. And with all that zipline knowledge, make sure you try your best to hold the high ground as much as possible, because the freest kills come from the people who don't know how to use these ziplines. So you fly all the way up, bait them up if they're chasing you, for example. If they come straight up, that's the freest kill of your life, because they're just coming straight up. The importance of staying up is not something to forget about. Pushing people on ziplines too is something you can do just by super jumping up. Usually this is the best done with shotguns. You super jump up, grab on, face punch into the wall, and like shoot the guy in the corner, because they usually are sitting in corners when you're zipping up. They'll almost always either be right here, in the middle, or in this corner. So if I had a shotgun, I would just zip jump up, face punch into the wall, and shoot them like that. And you only get 3 hops, so remember that while you're playing. But they can also do the same to you, so be aware of that. Alright, next up are the healing routes. So, hopefully you guys are understanding the guide so far. But a healing route is basically just a route that you have in your mind that you want to take from a given area in order to heal up back to max HP again. So for an example, I'm going to show you one that I use a lot of the time. If I get cracked on first floor, I'll do this. So they're going to be chasing me because I'm low HP. This is what I'm going to do. Go up to 3rd, go to this spot, start popping my bat after sliding, go over here, and then drop down to 2nd floor or 1st floor, whatever I land on. And if they're like full chasing you for that whole entire time, you'll have the bat done by the time you're going towards the zipline over there. And they'll just be dropping down onto here or into the floor that you went on. But most of the time, they won't even be able to keep up with you on the zipline. And if they do, they will basically never catch you when you drop down on these floors. Which is why healing routes are so useful. Because, oh no, I got cracked. What am I going to do? I'm just going to fly away. Boom. And then now you're back to max HP and can rechow them again. So, healing routes are a very, very, very essential key part to living and getting high kill games on fragment and construction in general. So what I like to do with these is if I died and I like was really confused as to where I was going and like they caught up to me and I died, I would figure out a healing route for that spot. So let's say I'm right here and I fought somebody over here. What am I going to do in this situation if I'm low and they're pushing me from the left or from the right? Well, since this is on second floor, I could queue out and go to fourth and then like take the zipline up or something. Like, you just gotta make your own healing routes. There's a couple I can show you guys, but most of these you just gotta figure out yourself because there's so many of them. You can do them from literally anywhere. Like, oh, I'm on the roof. Where am I gonna go if I get cracked? If I am at this corner right here and I don't have my queue up, what do? I pop a bat, fly all the way down on the first floor. Like, it's endless the amount of stuff you can figure out. So I encourage you guys, get R5 reloaded. Go around, find little places you can heal at, but mostly the rule of thumb with the healing routes in this building would be to go to third floor, heal right here, wait until they push, and then drop down. If you're healing and you're on top of this and you land in this like electrical box, you can jump up while popping a bat. Yeah, aim for that if you miss the floors when you're dropping, because that means you can just jump up and pop your bat out here. And then they can't shoot you if they drop down on the floor. Also can be for armor swaps as well. So if you know there's an armor swap right here, here's a gray armor. That's 50 free HP instantly. I don't have to heal or use any cells. Just remember it's there, like at all times. You can even like hide armor swaps. You don't have to leave them in the death box if they're there as well. You can just like take it out of the death box and like put it right here. Right next to the zipline shaft. Hold onto that armor. And then let's say I get cracked again. I just fly all the way up, grab that armor swap, and I'm ready to fight again. So armor swaps are also a great way to continue fights as long as you remember where they are.
Might be something
like
this way.
You just run around and while you're looting, if there's a gray armor or a blue armor, just remember, okay, there's a gray armor there. And go do your game, do your fighting, and if you get cracked, don't use your cells. Just go up to that armor and take it, just like that. Alright, so next up is some like application of movement, like super gliding and just like hiding spots in general. So first things first, a lot of the time you'll find yourself going into the building right here.
Let's go this way.
Or right here. So what you're going to do is a wall bounce up like this. You don't get that like climbing animation when you do it, and it puts you in way faster along with getting shot less. I'll do it one more. I mean, even if you do get like a little like mantle animation, it's still better than just climbing straight up a wall or something. So next up is something that I like to do, I haven't seen anyone else do, is there's this ledge right here, and most of the time when you're entering in from this spot, you're going straight to that zipline.
Let's go this way.
Do a super glide over into the zipline shaft. They're not gonna hit you. They're not gonna hit you at all. I mean, if I can't hit the super glide every time, but still, you get the point. You can do a normal slide off that as well, just like this, and then zipline up. That's way better than walking in the telegraphed line that everybody knows, where it's just this. It's slower and it's just way more obvious. If you just do a super glide, if I can land it like that, you're way harder to hit and you get there faster. You can actually do a wall bounce onto the side zip right here. So this is the most useful when you're running away over here. Let's say like I'm running away right now. This could be a healing route as well. I'm running away, I'm going up, I go to third floor. Now I'm going this way. There's a wall right here. You can tap strafe into this, wall bounce off of it, and catch the zipline right here and go up. I haven't done this too often, but I know it's a very useful tech because it saves you a lot of time. Like that. So that's a very useful one, I would say. I gotta implement that more into my playstyle, but I just thought I'd let you guys know about that one. I'll do it one more time. I missed it. But yeah, I think you understand. It's just another spot that you can use. Usually when you're fighting on these floors, these pillars are really great for wall bouncing off of. So what you're going to want to do is wall bounce and then tap strafe right after. I haven't really seen any of this in a guide before, but all you have to do is hold, for this one, I'm going to hold D when I hit the wall. And then I'm going to do a normal jump, wall bounce. But then right after, I'm going to do my tap strafe. So for me, that's scroll wheel down. And it sends you forward after the wall bounce. So this is really nice if you just want to go in a straight line forward.
Something good this way.
I just messed it up there. And you want to push somebody like that's in the corner or literally anywhere. You could do it just like that. That allows you to get more distance towards your enemy with the wall bounce rather than a wall bounce usually sending you away from where you're going. Just a nice thing to know. I thought you'd let you guys know when you're wall bouncing onto your opponents in construction. I remember seeing a Moki sniper video on this a long time ago, but this is very useful and you guys should really put it into your play style. It gives you a little bit more movement speed if you wanted to push someone. So if someone's over there, if I just have my weapon out, I move so much slower, and my slide, it takes longer for it to start up before I can slide. But if I'm holstered, I can basically slide as soon as after I crouch. Like that. So what you're going to do is, let's say I want to push the guy over there.
Might be something good this way.
Or if they're like pushing me and they're right there, they're not going to expect me to just fly out like that. When I holster, and then as soon as I slide, I bring out my weapon. That's definitely something to work on. I do have a mouse bind for that though. So one of my buttons holsters and the other one brings out the second weapon in my inventory. Because it's usually the shotgun that you're using in those situations. But yeah, I'll just do it one more time. If they're pushing me and they're right there,
Let's go this way.
I could just do a quick like that. It's just, you can't really do that when you have your weapon out because you'll find yourself getting dead slides or just crouching. But when I'm holstered, I can just slide really fast and get more speed with it. So yeah, holster. You have your weapon out, your holster, bring it out as soon as you slide. You're just getting that little bit of extra movement speed from the holster. There are some nice hiding spots that actually exist on this building. So one of them, also you can just wall bounce up the sides of these as well. I recommend doing that. There's these the same red trusses we saw before. You can camp on these.
Explore this way.
So if I'm really low and I need just like a hidden spot for nobody to find me in, and this is like the last resort, I can just slide out, pop a bat, and land on one of these. There's a ton of them to land on. You can choose whichever one you want. Usually people go with that one.
Let's explore
at the very
this way.
top. There's one more of those things over on the bad side of the building. So if you're over here and you just want a nice spot to camp in while people like come over on the roof, like if they're expecting to go over and look straight down, you can stand on these things right here. There's one on each side. And you can crouch right here. So if they're on their on your left and they're coming over, they will not expect you to be crouching right here and then suddenly push out on top of them. So that is a little bit of a niche spot, but I highly recommend using it. It's also a good place to heal if there's too much stuff going on.
Need to recharge my shields.
And last spot, I guess, would be this ledge right here.
Might be something
So this is the only ledge on this part of the building that you can stand on. It's a really slim, but you can get on this like yellow cylinder thing. This is so useful because it gives you a perfect head glitch onto this angle. Anybody that's up here, you have full view of, and they can only see the top of your head. And then you can just crouch down as they shoot you and then beam them back. And then you can also just run away if you need to. So this is, I use that spot all the time.
Might be something good this
Make
way.
sure you use that. Alright, hopefully you guys are getting the guide so far, But next up, we have where to land in this building and just a bit more. So usually when I land in this building, it's always the second floor.
Might be something
I don't
good this
know
way.
what it is, but it's just something about it. Not as many people go here. Most of them go to
Let's go
third
this way.
or the roof. I don't know why. The first floor always just has trash loot for some reason, so I don't go there. But second floor is the best to land on because you get all this loot, and then you immediately start out from a position of power. So you're looking down on everybody who landed first floor. And those basically are just free kills because they're going to these pads to loot. So you grab your stuff really quickly. Don't even bother with some of this other stuff. Peek over and get some free kills or just free damage early on. Another thing that I've seen basically nobody do is pretend I'm landing here with like an enemy squad as well. So there's another person that landed on the same alternator as me and there's only one gun. What I should do, pretend that this battery's the person and they're standing right here. I'm going to stand behind that person and get my body in the way of that gun or stand like on top of the gun so that when they're looking at it, all they see is like the back of my player model and they can't pick up the gun. But on my screen, I'm just picking up the gun really quickly. And then you get the gun a lot of the time and you can just kill him. So that's still not a foolproof strat because they're obviously going to be strafing and like trying to get around you. But it's just something to note of because I've definitely won a lot more early game gunfights because I'll get every single weapon at the pad because I just hog over each one of them and then they can't pick anything up. Also, if there's like 6 squads landing here, like don't even bother, I would say. Like this building isn't really designed to hold 8 squads or 6 squads, but it's still definitely possible. If you still just want to land there, you can. If you just don't want to go for that chaos and let them fight for a little while, you can land in this little tower
Let's
right
explore
there.
this way.
Usually people just land here by default. They go into this little pit.
Let's go this
It's
way.
only got 2 pills, so it's not very good. Other than that, you can go to the other zipline building, which is right here,
Let's explore this way.
and loot that up, or just go somewhere else, really. I mean, it depends on how many people are landing here. And continuing with the off-drop stuff, typically, you'll get your loot, you know, and everyone else is looting below you. Second floor gets challenged really
explore this
fast after that. So what you're going to want to do is pay attention to the doorway you're the closest to. So if I looted this and I'm going over here to loot this spot, on my way over to this,
Let's explore
I'm
this way.
expecting someone to come through. So I'm going to be very wary of that if I hear somebody walking over. And as soon as I push there, I'm going to be ready with my gun out. You can also, while you're sliding over, use this.
Might be something good this way.
Just use this for a little while. If there's some people on your
Let's
floor,
go
just
this way.
don't even bother. Get the loot and go. But I find myself getting a lot of free kills because people will loot first floor and there will always be like 1 or 2 people that landed and didn't get anything. They'll be like, okay, well, I want to get loot, so they're going to go to the second floor. And then you're already there waiting for them. So as soon as they come up, free kill. So basically just be prepared right after you drop because they're going to be pushing you very quickly. After that, there's one more like niche-ish movement tech I wanted to show off before we end the guide pretty much because that's basically about it. When you're running away to 4th floor or 2nd floor, you can do this like little edge slide thing. So when you jump, slide on the very edge, it just gives you an instant momentum boost when you hit the
Might
top
be
of it.
something good this way.
So this is really good when you're running away. That was not it. This is really good for running away because you can just quickly slide on over to one of these spots and start healing up. It's just another little thing that might help you guys. I wanted to let you guys know. But yeah, this is my first time really making any sort of guide like this. I probably missed some stuff because this building is just so big and has so much stuff you can do in it. But mostly you guys should just get R5 Reloaded or just go into games, practice all this stuff. Figure out your own things, get your own healing routes. Also, you guys, I could use some content ideas. I really don't know what to make. If you can't tell, I've been really inactive for a long time. I haven't uploaded in like 6 months. So if you have any good video ideas, please tell them to me. If you want to just see me like playing, tell me that, I guess. I really don't know what you guys want. If you want more guides like this, I could make them for other buildings as well. Like I know there's these buildings
Let's
if you
go
wanted
this
me to
way.
go over them. There's the other zipline building that's over there. It's like right there. I could also go over a streamer building
Let's go
too.
this way.
yeah, just tell me what you guys want, and I will consider it all. I read all the comments, so yeah, thanks for watching, and see ya.